Hey everybody, you're tuned into the SNL AFTERBUZZ After Show. We're going to talk about episode 4, season 42, Tom Hanks with Lady Gaga. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Giving me
For
a
what?
million reasons to do anything. Giving me a million reasons. A million reasons.
Yes, go.
Giving me a million.
You're going to say that a million times.
A million reasons.
Hey
That
guys,
got creepy too.
we're back.
And we're self-indulgent.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Oh man, there she's going.
Belting it.
Belting it out. With that
Get it.
guitar, I was into it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Episode 4. It was a fun one, right? Before we get into it, where can we find you guys on the internet?
You can find me on the internet at Kim Crossman.
You can find me at Amy Maestri.
You can find me at Katie Wilbert.
And I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo. Also subscribe, like us, subscribe to SoundCloud, iTunes. You know the drill. Tweet at us. AfterBuzz too. You got it. This episode, man, Tom Hanks has been around a while, huh?
I had no
Yeah.
idea. Was it his 9th time?
Ninth.
That was
Yeah.
legit?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, like,
Nuts.
Steve, what's his name? Alec Baldwin's hosted like 18 times or something insane.
Whoa.
So,
Whoa.
I think
See,
that's the actual number.
Yeah.
18.
It is?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Looks like we all got big shoes to fill. Feel?
you can feel him if
And
you
we're
want.
off to a great start already. We've got so many big shoes to feel.
It's going to be a busy night for
Ooh,
us.
yeah. The cold open presidential debate, no surprise, right?
Well, actually, I wasn't expecting... Well, I don't know if you guys were. I wasn't expecting Tom Hanks to be in the cold open. And I think for me, I was like, that's so cool. I was trying to like have a discussion about how when you have a guest, how they only have that small window to really get us on board, whether we're like, we feel safe with you, or I do not feel safe with you, and this is going to be a shit show, and you're going to have to spend the entire time winning me back. So I think putting him in this, and just him being solid, he wasn't trying to pull focus. I think he did a really good job. So I was really excited after the cold open to see him in that, because I don't feel like I see that very often.
Yeah, it's kind of rare, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think since he's been... It's not his first
Yeah.
rodeo, you know?
Tom Hanks.
Or his second.
No.
Or his third.
We can keep going.
yeah.
Let's count up to 9. Yeah.
Did you guys watch the third one? The third debate?
Yeah.
This is the one I didn't watch.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but Kimberly explained it to me as
gave her the-
basically it was just Trump going, she's saying she wants to rip babies out of vaginas. And I wrote it down because I was like, oh, Kim was right. That was the thing. That's all I know about the debate is he kept saying rip babies out of the
Yeah.
womb.
Nasty woman.
Yeah, I think this was one of the best examples of like, what do you do on a sketch show when that's the actual debate? I mean, when you take some of the lines, I'm not a puppet, you're a puppet. That,
Yeah.
that should be in a sketch. That shouldn't be what's going on in the actual
Yeah.
debate. The nasty woman.
The bingo was great. That was a great way
Yeah.
to incorporate. I feel like they did do some visual cues and like him holding up.
Did I get all my
that,
notes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they did some things like that I thought was a good way to show the debate that obviously is surreal and wouldn't have happened. But you're right. Like
Yeah, I think
where
they
do you
did a good
go?
mix in this one of like giving some verbatim lines because it's valid. You kind of
Yeah,
have
it's
to.
crazy.
But then also having him. I loved when he called himself sweet little baby Trump. That just
I
killed
really,
me.
I like that, and I like that they pulled focus to I'm going to talk with a quiet voice kind of thing, because I said to Kitty, I was like, this one was more unsettling to me because he kind of wasn't as heightened and as crazy, and I was like, ooh, that's even worse. So I'm glad that they made a point of that, because that was one
They
of my
mentioned that in
observations.
Update, too, like how he was the calmest, but also the most vicious or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was true. It was wild.
I actually saw a show at the Improv last night, and one of the comics was talking about like how much more terrifying it is when someone's talking in like a whisper
Oh, yeah.
than like yelling at you. So yeah, like Trump in a whisper is very unsettling. Yeah. So
If someone says they're gonna murder you, but they say it sweetly with a smile, I'm like, yeah, you are. There's like, it's not a passionate rage thing. You've thought about it. You've got a cage somewhere downstairs for me.
just
Yeah.
Crazy. Started off good. The monologue, America's Dad. I thought this was a good way to, because he is very dad-like. He's got kids. What did you guys
trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like he was speaking directly to Katie. Like, I know he was talking to America, but I was like, how do you know all the things I was going through?
Katie's like, yeah, I know it wasn't actually to me.
No, like, I know
wasn't-
it wasn't, but
like,
there's also part
talking
of
to
me
me.
that's like, my dad's name's Tom, and maybe he knew that, I don't know. That's how it made me feel, and I loved it.
It's good.
I liked it too. I think it was a different energy than some kind of monologues I've seen before. I like that he wasn't trying to do like jokes. I like that you got a lot gayer kind of thing. I thought that was quite funny. And yeah, that weird, it's funny, but it's true moments of like, you don't need that many guns. I thought it was, put some of them down here. I thought it was great.
I
really
like that
enjoyed
the
it.
gayer moment got a big laugh because everyone was scared to laugh at the darker
Yes.
moment. When
Yeah,
he said
that
you're,
preceded, I was
that we've
like,
gotten
where
a
are we
lot
going?
darker, everyone
Yeah.
just like froze.
Yeah.
I feel like, what is going to happen? But I really liked it. I thought it was going to turn into like Mr. Rogers because I got really excited when he put on the sweater. I was waiting to see like the stoplight and like the set of Mr. Rogers. But you know, maybe next
Second
time.
best.
Maybe next time. It's fine.
I mean, he'll probably be around again. You know.
That's true.
All right, so
go for 10.
do Mr. Rogers next time.
Yeah. The next sketch, Black Jeopardy, I think this was like probably my favorite one of the night, which is weird because you know my feelings on Kenan.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about him, you know? It was just like something that I feel like I've never thought about before, but once it was there in front of me, I was like, oh my God, that's so true. Mm-hmm. So sometimes SNL surprises you in a great way, and
Right.
that's what they did with this sketch.
I liked that it was fish out of water, but not in a way that we're being like, ugh, you're so weird. You don't fit in here. Instead, it was going like, the person you think doesn't fit in fits in perfectly. And yeah, like,
That was like a bit of choice because as soon as
Right.
they pan to him and you're like, he's wearing an America is Great Again hat and Confederate shirt,
Yeah, I was
shirt
ready
thing,
to
you're like, what are
facepalm
you
myself.
doing? Yeah.
yeah. Well, and I think too, like, I remember learning in sketch comedy classes and stuff too, like, sometimes it's a better choice to just have people like each other. Like, not everyone has to be like in a disagreement or in a fight or a conflict. Like, sometimes it's actually really enjoyable to just watch people get along. And I feel like that was a really great example of a way to do this in a way that there were two options. You could have done it the good way and the bad way, and they did the good way.
Yeah, and I like too that because everyone went into it thinking the same thing of what he's going to be like, and I think it's such a smart narrative to use right now too of the fact that yeah, everyone's going to judge him one way, and then you're like, oh wait, yeah, actually they probably do have a lot in common, like with some of these point of views. And then I like that at the end they did bring it back because you're just kind of waiting for him to like have that one
Snap.
thing where you're just like, of course. So I love the way that they ended it too, and
That's a good button.
the fact that like Kenan was on screen and I didn't hate everything was
I did like
great
him
sketch.
in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also kind of hope that people that are fans of Trump watch this sketch and are like, oh, maybe I'll think about it more.
Well,
I don't think they will, but
I think
it's a
that's
hope.
I think that's like so many of our hopes. Like I loved not to jump to Weekend Update, but the point I didn't know that Michael Moore had done this Trump anti-Trump kind of thing. And so I really liked it when they pointed it out in Weekend Update of like, so if you're a fan of Michael Moore and you hate Trump, no, what is it? If you're a fan of Michael Moore and Trump or something like that, then you'll never see this. So it's like, yeah, exactly. Anyone who watches Michael Moore stuff is not going to be a Trump supporter. So it's like, you're right, it's a moot point. But
Yeah. But they're coming out with so many things like exposés and stuff on Trump. It's like one thing after another. And it's almost at this point, like if everything by this point hasn't
flipped you.
changed your mind,
not
gonna
yeah.
change.
It
Yeah.
will.
They're just crazy people. What? Let's not get into it.
We don't have a bias here.
Yeah.
We share zero
We're
bias.
the liberal comedians and yeah.
We're as biased as SNL.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mind you, anyone watching our show probably is,
Yeah.
making a statement. Call us, text us. Oh no, phone in.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Kim Possible.
The next sketch,
guys.
Jill and Todd's Halloween show. Just basically a singing sketch from a Journey parody song with a kind of got weird. What did you guys think about it?
My thoughts is that I would love to have seen it I can't speak. I'd love to have seen it got weirder.
roll with your vocabulary.
I can't speak today. I would have loved to have seen it get weirder. There we go. because I feel like they kind of touched on it. They did a bit of like weird incest, she's 22 things. And then it went kind of back to, yes, we'll give you $1,000. And now they're on board, which I kind of felt like came from nowhere. Maybe they just should have stayed in the show, and then the tag should have just been 6 shocked faces.
Yeah, like commit harder to the crazy kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I didn't not like it. I thought it was kind of funny, and I liked the ideas they were starting to touch on. I just wanted to see them push it further.
Yeah, totally agreed. I would have loved to, and I kind of thought that's what they were doing when they started to be like, wait, they're in a love triangle with their daughter? Like, and I was like, oh, cool, this is going to get so freaking weird right now. But then, yeah, they pulled it back, and I feel like those endings are the ones that, like, they're going somewhere and then they just kind of cop out at the end like, oh, well, here's a funny, silly ending, and it just doesn't fit for it.
I don't know
The thing
why
was
they
they
went back to the money. That was not funny or important at all.
Yeah.
What they should have just like kept going and almost like a run-on song that should have ended 20 minutes ago of like getting to the worst shit possible that they could have done, and they turn and they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, and then they still are performing for themselves, because that's what they were doing. They were performing for themselves. So like they didn't need to go back to the money because we don't care about it.
Because it didn't even end on the money. And then they left, and then they're like, go upstairs. I'm 22.
You didn't act like it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was weird, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
That was the strangest ending. Yeah,
They're
but
really great with endings.
yes, Dracula was great.
Yeah.
He did some very funny Dracula moments. I liked that.
I definitely enjoyed I enjoyed this one.
The execution
And that
of
he's
it.
a virgin, and that was kind of weird, too.
Yeah.
It was funny. Good.
CBS's Broken, a 30-minute comedy that's not really a comedy. I feel like this is something that a lot of people say with the award shows. Like, that's not a... So I feel like this is just like, hey, you're not the only one that thinks this way. We do too. What did you guys think about it?
So I loved this because recently Kimberly and I watched this show called Easy on Netflix.
Yo, I tried to watch it, and I couldn't stand it.
Well, I thought it was a drama when I first watched it, and it felt like an hour, but it's really only 22 minutes, and it is labeled a comedy. I didn't at all find it funny, and we watched a couple episodes, and I was still waiting to be like, nah, but it's just like a slice of life, well-shot kind of actory piece, but not at all what I would label a comedy. And so I really liked this because we were floored after we watched that show. And
I guess if there's this kind of wave at the moment and of these comedies, I think Louis did it well because it's kind of like, yeah, the situation in life is funny, but I don't know. Easy has an entire episode about someone being a vegan, and it's not even that big a deal.
Yeah,
like, I don't understand.
Or the couple that's like, we want to have fun. Let's join Tinder. Did you see the one with Orlando Bloom?
No, I couldn't.
We didn't get past
Don't.
the first.
It
I just
upset
skipped.
me.
I just skipped.
I barely even made it through the first one, and I couldn't do
Yeah.
it.
I think that was the best one that I've seen.
Now,
But that's
had it been
kind
a
of what-
drama, I would have been like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. So the acting's great and it's interesting, like interesting POVs, maybe, except that, yeah, vegan was like so on the nose. I was like, not super interesting. But why was it a comedy? It's not funny. It has to, you have to laugh.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I think this sketch to me was so funny because I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. Critics are calling it, this is a drama? That made me laugh.
So perfect.
And I this was like so quiet. I don't know if you guys heard it, but and the 30-minute episode where the eldest daughter will just caress things in the living room. I'm like,
Favorite
oh my
moment.
God.
Great.
That killed me because it's like the same thing, like an entire episode about like being a vegan or something, where you're just like, what is this even about? And like the shots that they had of her with the music and everything,
good.
it's
Perfect.
you've seen that scene in those kinds of shows before.
Yeah.
There's a show called High Maintenance, which is similar on HBO, and there's one episode just revolving around a dog falling in love with his dog walker, and it's like,
Oh.
why? Well, I don't
yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
We
SNL.
appreciated this, SNL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked it because I think, it's kind of the
Too many of 'em.
observation that I'm like, yeah.
Comedy's just getting like darker and darker, and I love dark comedy when it's done right, or like the more kind of like when it's rooted in drama.
Right.
But yeah, lately it's just this is a drama.
It's not even funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
100 floors of frights. 100 floors of frights.
I want to hear you say it a couple more times.
Yeah. We're all doing
100
Work it out.
floors of frights. 100 floors of frights. All right. This was very similar, I feel like, to the Burger King sketch, minus the burgers.
You didn't like it?
But I love
A lot of people liked it, but I did.
loved. You didn't?
I'm not a no. But I also don't like Tom Hanks that much, actually. To be
Okay.
fair.
Cool.
But
I did think it was similar to the Burger King sketch. We had talked about that.
Yeah.
I felt like this one actually worked, though, and you made a good point about why.
Thank you, Katie.
Yeah.
So what I had said was, I think Burger King didn't work because we met so many different characters. We're like, okay, there's nothing happening. I love that it kept coming back to David Pumpkins. I thought that was really funny. The physicality, the movements, and
Mikey
the weird
D's physicality
sexualness.
was so
Yeah.
good. He can do really good robotic movement. It's great.
And I thought Tom Hanks's commitment to this was really funny. Like, David, any questions? Yes, many. Like, he has a middle initial now. Oh God.
the ending was great, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend just made an Instagram picture of the JFK assassination with David Pumpkins in the background.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's great.
That's amazing.
That's
So a
really
lot of
clever.
people do love this.
I felt the music was wacky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He committed
Oh
hard.
god, his face was so creepy through the whole thing. I like
The music was so good.
That's a good point. The order of just instead of a continuous train of like nothing, the fact that they kept coming back and then like using Leslie to think like, oh, it's another scary
and I'm gonna
one,
kill you because
and
I'm
then she
so
starts
into
doing
David S. Pumpkin.
Yeah, I feel like once they started the game, they built it and they stayed on the same subject instead of deviating, which is why I feel like the Burger King thing didn't work. It just was like, who are we focusing on? I'm confused. This I thought was delightful. I want to be David S. Pumpkin's friend. Also, I feel like Tom Hanks broke when he was moving off screen on one point because he just had his mouth open like this. And that made me smile a lot.
I liked it too when I wasn't sure yet what the game was going to be, and they're like, "Should I?" And he's from like, because I do that often. We would go, "Oh, Shelley Fitzgerald," and, and they're from, and she's like, "He's got two b-boy sidekicks, and what are you guys? Part of it?" Part of it. It's funny. Let me do all the act outs from the scene. No, I really like this. I can see what you wouldn't because I think it is a bit bull, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was okay. Like, it didn't make me laugh, but I do think it's the better version of the Burger King one. I think also it helped because the two people were like, is this supposed to be funny? Whereas the Burger King one was just Pete Davidson, who at the end was
clearly
just like,
hated the
I'm
sketch.
gonna jump in.
Yeah. You didn't know, Zach, if you liked it or not. You're still not sure, right?
With David S. Pumpkins, I felt like, and I have to include the S. You have to. It's his full name.
Yes.
This is one of those things that I don't think I'll ever know if I genuinely 100% loved it or 0% hated it. It's somehow both at the same time.
I totally get
I feel
it.
the same way.
Positives and negatives.
Yeah.
It's like the movie Tusk.
Oh, that was severe.
the perfect reaction for what Zach wanted.
It's uncomfortable, that movie. I didn't like that one.
Tusk.
We'll chat about Tusk
It
afterwards.
turned into, it's like a walrus. It turned into a walrus, Justin Long kind. It's like a horror movie.
Oh dear.
It's a Kevin Smith horror movie.
Yeah.
But you walk out of it like that was either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Kind of like Napoleon Dynamite the first time you watch it?
Yes.
Or you're
Yeah.
like,
I don't know. I liked it the first
Did you like it the first time?
But it was like before everybody was like, come on. Like
Everyone was
quoted
doing
it.
it.
I saw it in theaters, guys. You know?
You're so cool, Kelly.
Okay.
You're so ahead of the curve.
One question.
Yes.
Where do I get that pumpkin suit?
Yeah, right?
Yes.
I was thinking
Real.
that.
Oh, if I see someone who's David S. Pumpkins for Halloween, I'm gonna throw myself on them.
You should.
It's true.
Climb them like a tree.
We'll just celebrate them because I'm
Yeah.
like that's specific and niche.
And like you had a week, like 9 days to make
Yeah.
it. Props. Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Way to bring the train back to the station. It's like, where did we go?
Yeah. She, she went away for a little bit. She's been acting in American Horror Story. Also, you guys, you should check that out on AfterBuzz on Wednesdays because I might also be hosting that too.
Good throw.
I'm not Elena's the host, but you know.
Unless there's something we don't know.
If Helena's not there next week, we know who did it.
No.
Also, Zach is currently trying to buy off Amazon a
they
David
have it?
S. Pumpkins
I
costume.
found the pumpkin suit.
Already?
Oh,
Can you
that's
post
quick.
it in our feed so that people, if they don't watch our show, we can lure them there to tell them that's where they
get
we
the
can
David S.
mistake them.
We'll leave the link in the
Thank
That's
you.
beautiful.
That's how we'll
Perfect.
get people to watch
Description
this.
below.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So
Zach.
Gaga.
Yeah, she's doing the Super Bowl, I think, right? This coming year,
Yeah.
which is cool because we were like, what? She doesn't have music, but guess what? She's coming out with music.
She got some.
Kinda country-y.
Jolene or Jolene, something like that. She's playing some guitar and stuff. I was pretty impressed. Usually, straight up guys, I'm not into the music. You guys know I'm not really a big fan of the musical guests usually. But I was like, wow, Lady Gaga.
She's very talented.
Yeah.
Like, her voice is ridiculous.
Yeah. And that shiny dress thing, the crop top. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is good music.
Yeah.
She just always does something different. Like,
Yeah.
I just love when you look at everything that she's done since coming out to now. Like, the 2 songs that she did tonight, both super different from each other, really different from a lot of the stuff that she's come out with lately. And yeah, her voice. I remember back when she did the Sound of Music montage
yeah.
thing, and I was just like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
I knew she could sing, but she's incredible.
It's cool to see her now at this point in her career where she has that freedom to be like, I'm
Yeah.
just going to sing at a piano now because I'm awesome. I don't have to have like a blue outfit on and like short,
that's gonna-
crazy.
My interesting observation, because I feel like what I know about, and in New Zealand we call her Lady Gaga. So
Oh, for real?
that's how I will
I knew
refer to her. We say our vowels differently. I feel like it's kind of weird because I feel like everything I knew about her was like, I'm going to do something zany and crazy and wear meat. And so
Yeah.
seeing her on stage like normal, I can see her whole face. I think I was almost waiting for something weird.
Right.
So I need to just get over myself and accept that she's just going to be a great singer and performer. I think I'm kind of like... but
Waiting
she's-
for the thing.
Because she's been so fucking crazy.
I think
her whole
she-
career.
She
In
sang
a
with
great
Tony
way.
Bennett and it's like, the rest is history, right? Like it
Just, like,
maybe
cut it off.
really was like she
Yeah.
sang with Tony Bennett and now she's just normal.
Well, that was it. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, you got
Strange.
your whole face out. You're singing. You're dancing. You're doing great. Your music's fine. You're not going to do something weird, or
I guess
are you?
she doesn't
No.
have to prove herself by being weird
Sure.
anymore. Now she's like,
Yeah.
look it, I've got talent.
Yeah.
That felt like her in, right? If you think about it from
Yeah.
a marketing standpoint, like she played the game, right? Now she gets to be maybe whoever she wants to
What
be.
was that? She played the game.
Played
How
the
did I
game.
say? Sometimes I
Like
just
you
drop
were
in.
like you had a cigarette or something.
She played the game.
She played the game, that kid.
I'm Jimmy Ivy. I run a company. See?
Also seeing the funny papers, that kid.
Am I smoking something or blowing something? We don't know.
You got the shakes though.
Yeah, you want to take some pills for that.
I knew. Twice a day.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, good for her. I was kind of bummed I wanted to see her in a sketch. Because I feel like she was
Yeah.
in... She's in the three-way song, The Lonely Island, when she... I don't know if she when she hosted or when she was a musical guest, but I was like, man,
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
because she acts, you guys, American Horror Story, Wednesdays.
Didn't she win an award for that?
I know she was nominated. I don't know if
Nominated.
I don't know if she won.
I don't know if she won.
Cool, cool.
But update again. Trump.
Yep.
Let's talk more about news Trump. Right? It was just like
Yeah.
news about
Yeah,
Trump.
that was actually the first half of Update. It was just Kelly
Yeah.
singing that song about Trump, basically.
I did like when they called Hillary a grandma who likes secrets. I was like, I've never thought of it that way.
She kind of is.
A grandma who really likes secrets. I thought it was funny. No one else does. It's cool.
Do you guys like any of the jokes in update or anything? Did you write anything down?
You didn't write any of
I
them.
did
jokes
not.
No, the only things that, like, especially out of the Trump things, like, when they ever took a point of view, which has been like 1 in 10 jokes, I feel like, with the Trump ones, I did kind of like the joke when they were saying the 10 minutes of fame instead of 15 minutes because he's so cheap that they have to give
That was funny.
10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, see, you're taking
There's
something that he
POV.
said
Yeah.
and then making a joke out of it instead of just saying what he said and reporting the news like they've been doing. So
Yeah.
I thought that one stood out just because they actually did do something with it. But other than that, meh.
I thought that Leslie was interesting and like a good point. Did something else happen again? Because I feel like we already did this. Didn't she already become a guest just
She always does every so often.
to address her being hacked though? It's like-
Yeah, I
guess
I feel like they should have left it with the. I think.
No, she had that sketch, that Mr. Robot sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should have left it with
okay.
that because I think
Okay.
that was so good the way that they handled
Yeah.
it. I don't think they needed this. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was
I was-
just.
We also don't want to watch her and then always feel bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if
To
you keep
know
bringing
that,
it
yeah.
up, to
Yeah.
call it to awareness and make fun of it and be like,
Yeah.
cool, that happened, one thing. But to keep bringing it up, we're like, we don't want to feel bad for you. We want to be
Yeah.
like rooting for you.
They did
So,
it in
I don't
such a
know.
smart, funny way with Mr. Robot,
great.
and then they had to do it again and have her just like beat it into the ground and like almost like play victim in it. And I'm just like, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
see that with her. So I was kind of bummed they even did it.
I did love Honey Bunches of Jost instead of Honey Bunches of Oats. I was like,
funny.
because she always hits on him, and I'm like, whatever. But that one, I love them puns.
That was good.
Girl at a party that you wish you didn't have. The girl you wish you didn't start a conversation with at a party.
Words and things.
Is that an impression of her?
We'll go with faggot. I don't know.
An in session of?
Read a book.
She's always great.
Yeah. I loved the IUD line.
That's good.
When she needs an IUD to
Checking
vote.
her IUDs.
Yeah. I always get a kick out of this character, just the mispronunciations and the way that she does it. Like she's done it a lot, so it's not like, I think earlier on they were always my favorites, but I'm always gonna laugh at it. I just love this character.
I feel like that doesn't do anything that stands out as much anymore, though. So
Right.
like we haven't seen her in a while, I don't think. But it's like, okay, do something a little bit different or memorable.
Yeah, her ending one is usually a little bit like punchier. There's usually like kind of like a more risque joke at the end or something that hits a little bit harder. Yeah, this one I think was all kind of more on one tone the
Yeah.
whole time.
Update. It's weird. Usually they like kill during the political season, but lately they've just been run down with too much politics. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't really know what they're doing because it's just like we talked about this last week.
And this is also, it's their 4th week in a row.
Yeah.
They never go 4 weeks in a row. Even the 3rd week usually is kind of hit or miss because with that schedule, doing it 3 weeks in a row, it's a lot of times the 3rd episode's
Yeah.
hit or miss. But going 4 weeks, I mean,
It's a lot.
yeah.
It is 4 weeks the week before the election, right? So then they'll have 2 weeks off.
And then
One more episode.
before
Yeah.
the election.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why they're cramming it in because
Yeah.
of the
Gonna be-
election.
yeah.
Because they usually have Thursday. They have that special Thursday night update or something. They have like a little Thursday special, but they haven't the last, I think, 2 years or something, 3 years. But I think that's where they usually put their political stuff.
Yeah.
And this time they're just like, we gotta fit it into this. Sully, though. Do you want to know a funny story about Sully?
Yes.
guys?
Yes.
So on my 21st birthday, I was going to go skydiving in Vegas, and we saw on the news that that this happened, and we're like, should we do this? We did it still. But I'm from New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey, and we're like, is this a sign? Because the Hudson River, we know. I survived. That's the story. Did any of you guys watch the movie Sully?
No.
I hadn't, and I wondered if I kind of. Also, I'm not American, so I'm probably the wrong audience. To me, this as a sketch felt a little slow, with not a lot of build.
I liked the very end.
Right.
I felt like had the end happened sooner, I would have enjoyed it more when he was like, we're headed for the Hudson, we're going down, like scaring the passengers. Like, I guess, or maybe more interaction there.
I think they needed to heighten it faster.
Yeah.
Because at first you're like, okay. Oh, he's mad about it. Okay. All right. And then eventually he started to get more crazy, but it had to go faster.
Yeah, I don't think that the way that it was done merits a 6-minute sketch. It's like a very simple game. Okay, we get it. He's like put in the second chair and like he thinks that, he's a big celebrity now. I almost would have rather see this as like a 2-minute digital short where we're going back and forth between his escalation of getting angrier about things and then the passengers overhearing certain things or like their reactions or something, just to give it that feel and have it as a digital short. Because 2 minutes, I think this would be really funny if they heightened it and added something else. But with this game and the way that they wanted to take it, it's that's not 6 minutes. You can't
Yeah.
you can't do it
And a
for that
digital
long.
short with him maybe just like taking another plane to the Hudson that didn't need to go would have been funny. If like
Yeah.
he's stuck in this sort of state of like,
They're
all
all,
right,
like,
we're
kinda-
going down, and you see the passengers like, wait, why? The other pilot's
We're flying
like,
to Milwaukee.
"We're
Why are
fine."
we going to?
Yeah, this plane's on auto, and just like the drama of it, I think would have been funny.
Yeah, because he even said at the end, he's just like, going to the Hudson. He's like, no, we're not going back to the Hudson.
That's the game that was funny to me, not the I'm shitty that I'm not the head pilot. I feel like the game was the last beat of the
Yeah.
sketch,
Yeah.
and that's where it should have started.
Yeah.
It was
Problem solved.
Yeah, it was nice seeing Alec Baldwin not as Trump
was,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
yeah.
refreshing. That was cool. But you know what was funny?
Tell me.
A Girl's Halloween.
Yeah. My goodness. I loved this.
Oh, man.
I thought this was amazing.
This was me last year, you guys.
I
Blacked
like-
out, used the remote as as my phone.
Oh, wow.
man.
What were you
That's
dressed as?
so good.
Bjork with the swan.
Oh, that's so good.
Perfect. Was
I
it
go
dirty?
on.
Was it real dirty by the end?
It's in the garbage now because it's
Yeah.
got a lot of
I
it had a lot
imagine.
of alcohol on it. I didn't throw up.
Yeah, I was like,
gonna say
vomit?
liquids, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the specifics, like how she had highlighted the whiskers with a white line. Like, I was like, oh, that's so great. Like, I want it like that, of course. The cheese, like, I want to be the cheese. Flesh.
And then-
Why am I the cheese? Yeah, I thought that
Why
was
did you
my
make me be
funny-
the cheese?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the back and forth was great. Like, oh no, I'm okay with it. No, I don't.
Even
know.
80
Yeah.
doing the shoe thing, because it's like I've seen so many
yes.
girls do that. I've probably done that, and I've seen a ton of girls walk without their shoes, and you're like, put your shoes on. Why are you not wearing your shoes? It's, like, it's not safe.
Just
so-
give up.
Yeah.
She's sitting there with her legs spread. Like
Oh.
everything about it was so true. But I love
Yeah.
that when they switched back, the other scene was so calm,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
gentle.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not even
it was
gonna
such
drink
a good.
tonight.
The juxtaposition of it was amazing.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch it forever because
know.
they
Yeah.
had so many good things that you're just like, yep, done that, did that yesterday. Yep, saw that yesterday, and it was everything that girls do to get ready, and then the disasters that we all become.
Afterwards.
Could
yeah.
there have been a stronger end than the green thing? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That was the only note that I was like green end, like it. But then I'm not sure how you would end it anyway.
But I kind of liked that ending.
Okay.
I didn't like her like cheesing that much to the camera.
yeah.
But I liked how she had a green mouth. Like I think it would have been funnier if she just played even more
she
dumb.
didn't
Like,
played
oh,
it
I don't
straight.
know how she got here.
No idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
got scared by him or something.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the obviously green mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, because the idea of the guy being there is still funny too. Because like one last cliche of like, oh well, I'm glad we just had like a fun girls' night, just us girls, and then
Yes.
One
yeah,
got a dude.
Another
you're right.
problem solved.
Yes. That we
by
were
the
solving them all.
ABTV SNL crew.
We've got this.
No.
But yeah,
the-
it was amazing.
yeah.
Loved it.
They're always great with the digital shorts though. They
Yeah.
just crush them.
yeah.
America's Funniest Pets with host Ron Howard. I think this was just Tom Hanks like, I got a great Ron Howard impression.
Okay. Because I was
Yeah.
watching it, I was like, I don't know why he's doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, Katie, I'm like, has something happened? I don't know.
He's also Ron is directing the new movie he's in, Inferno or whatever, the Da Vinci Code series.
Okay,
So maybe
okay.
it's just like a hey, by the way, we're buddies, because he's directed all these movies I'm in, including the one coming out. But it was just very, also not that good of an impression. I don't.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
But
I
he
do
was
a
having
great Ron
so much
Howard.
fun doing it
He
that you
was.
like got it. You like knew.
Yeah. He had certain like pieces of it, and then just like lots of other pieces that didn't belong there.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I was like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing there with the impression. But
Also, it's kind of such an obscure impression to do that, like, how many people really know how Ron Howard behaves?
Like we only I feel like the most we hear him recently is like in Arrested Development.
yeah, which is when he's very toned down, like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
And you
crazy
don't see
goofy.
him really at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Anywho, how about
French-
the French ladies?
Yeah.
I mean, I love animal videos. So, like, this sketch I couldn't not like because I'm like, a dog is walking on its feet. Oh my God. So, I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I'm going to love this. But I'm always impressed by both their French accents. French accents are really hard. And
They do it so well.
they do it so well. And I think everything they were saying was really funny and dark and hilarious. Well, this cat is, I can't even do it. I was about to say German, but like, hello, that was weird. That was weird. I don't know what I did there. The specifics I really liked when they were like, well, this cat clearly is going to the morgue. Like, they're just going through,
Or like adding in the the noises like bloop, bloop, bloop. My mother is dead back there.
Yeah.
Trying to lighten it up. I love the line in this moment he realizes he's a true coward.
Yes. And he's a true coward.
This moment he realizes
See, that
he's
was
a true
better.
coward.
Okay, yeah, you guys have got it. What we're doing, I don't know. What we're
That cat.
That cat is not okay. Like, yeah, we're, and that was it. That was
I would also watch an angry German dictating a cat, though.
I think it
The
would.
cat is down.
It would have been great without Ron Howard, though. Like,
Yes,
Ron Howard,
yeah.
unnecessary.
Right.
Yeah.
Unnecessary to add, but the French ladies were great.
I could
How
watch
crazy
those
was
videos,
that
yeah.
Pomeranian, though? Like, that's one hind leg walking fucking Pomeranian. No? That's a
don't
long ass
remember it.
fucking time. He's just walking on his hind feet.
Was that in the
Through the
like,
supermarket,
7-Eleven?
they're like, I've killed my master. He's back there. He may be bleeding or something. And he's walking. I'm like, that dog is walking like a human. Like, it's like,
Kim's like, we should have spent this whole show just talking about this dog.
well, I was really impressed.
There should be an SNL episode that's just all of the actors played by animals.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
sure.
I would
So
watch
that, like,
that.
Cecily is a poodle because she does French
Yes.
so well.
There you go.
And just like the Weekend Update people will just be dressed in little suits.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, we need to do this.
Do that. We'll do that.
Yeah. Well,
Things to
overall,
look forward to.
pretty fun episode, right, guys? Pretty fun.
I liked it. Yeah, I had a great time.
Do you guys have like an MVP of the ep?
I will give my MVP to Tom Hanks. I think he was transformative. I think he did a lot of different things.
And he was David S. Pumpkin.
Yeah.
He was, and
most
that was me.
importantly.
He was because he was wackadoo. He was serious. Wow. He was serious.
Crushing it.
I should go home. Yeah, I was really impressed by him. He seamlessly went in. I don't feel like he pulled focus in a way that is frustrating when you're like they're trying to make a guest funny. So
Yeah,
I
he just
loved it.
was funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Next time.
these guys don't get an MVP. I just Kim
Oh,
Crossman.
I
thought you
didn't
guys were
want
great.
to even say 80 Bryant
Yeah.
as my MVP.
Do
I
it.
didn't want to say it, or Mikey Day for his physical movements.
there
I
you go.
didn't feel like I wanted to say it, but now I'm saying it and it feels good.
They were great.
I mean, I didn't want to say anything about Vanessa being back in this episode more and loving everything that she did.
Or how we missed Bobby Moynihan and how he wasn't really in it a whole
He
lot.
was in the girls one. He squirted them with the hose.
Yeah, he was just like
So he had a major role.
Major role. Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
one where he squirted the girls with the hose.
No
So he got
lines.
the Eminem.
You've got no lines. You're just
He's
gonna
like,
come
you guys
in.
gotta
and-
get out of here. Oh, creepy.
Yeah,
The little, the ghost. Ooh, he was one of my favorites.
He played a really big role in this one. He was the guy who said, "You gotta get out of here."
He did his
Again, like a
dancing,
1920s
though,
reporter.
right? Wasn't he a skeleton?
He was a dancing
Oh
skeleton.
yeah, he was the
yeah.
other
Yeah.
dancing
Yes.
skeleton. Yeah.
Who was he your MVP?
I don't know. I think it might have been Tom Hanks too, because he just had range and
Or series, as I like to call it.
He's so serious. Yeah.
yes.
I'm that chick at the party.
That got so serious.
So next week there's no show because of Halloween. So have a happy Halloween. Stay safe. I have 2 costumes. Are you guys dressing up?
I am. I'm gonna be Sandy from Greece.
Woo!
Tell me about it, stud.
Are you
That's
gonna
all I'm
have? Are
say.
you gonna have Joe? What's his name?
Joan
Danny.
Danny, I am gonna have a Danny.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Groovy.
So we can do this to each other.
Yes,
all night.
Whoa. Amy and I are gonna go as twins, and we're just gonna say the same thing constantly, all the time.
Because it's what we do,
That's what we
apparently.
do, apparently.
All the time.
All the time.
So they'll be super fun to hang out with.
Cool.
Cool. Well, we've lost our minds, and
Well,
See you in November.
November.
yeah, November 5th, Benedict Cumberbatch and Solange is gonna be a musical guest. Hopefully she doesn't beat up
Solange.
JC.
yeah.
Hey, calm down, JC. Yeah, so did he have his cover snatch baby yet? Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm just going off the deep end.
So long to you all.
Yeah. Till next time, where can we find you guys on the internet?
On the internet at Kim Crossman.
At Amy Maestri.
At Katie Wilbert.
And I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me at Holly Weirdo on Twitter and Instagram. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.